What's really good? I am MTV Malik. He is Ace Metaphor. This is 224 The Basement. Yo, Ace, what's shaking?
Yeah, I hate people.
Yeah.
I feel like that's literally all I got. Like I just fucking hate people. I do, however, love the new fucking design. This shit is pretty. You did some good fucking work. Like,
thank you. We are stepping our game up. We're going to be doing something a little bit better. Try to add a little bit more production quality to it. Basically, I just grabbed a picture of a metal grate and 2 webcam frames and called it a day. We get it popping. You know what I mean?
I mean, sometimes simplicity is best. Can't argue with that shit.
All right. Before we begin, I want to let everybody know, currently all of the challenge seasons are going to be down for the time being. For some reason, PayPal stopped my bag. So we're going to be putting the pause on that till we get that one figured out. Also, the website itself has changed. It is no longer thechallengegear.com. It is shopthechallenge.com. Fam, I switched my website hoster. And anybody who went to the site previously, their DNS server wasn't working. So it's like the website didn't exist for anybody who's actually been to the website.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Instead of requesting, I think I've done hundreds of shirts. Instead of requesting all of these people to flush their DNS servers and, reset their cat, I was like, fam, it's $14 for a new domain name. Let's go ahead and just do that.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Ace,
there you go. Technology is only awesome when it works.
Yeah. Thanks.
My week. How was my week? I feel like it was good. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. Had some good food. You know what I'm saying? I might be jumping ahead on my recommendation, but I cop Ghosted Tsushima, and that shit is fire. Shout out to all my PlayStation people who could play that.
Yo, I'm still replaying the first Last of Us. I just don't have the time, bro.
Oh, shit. I finally beat The Last of Us 2, and that was...
Yeah. Is it as good as I think it's going to be?
It is. Okay. All right. Let's get a little too long didn't read game review in real quick. The game is dope. Do not allow all of this bullshit-ass toxic masculinity to scare you away from the game. The game is good. Why would I be
scared of the game? The first game was amazing. I haven't been this juiced for a game since Telltale was making the Walking Dead games.
See, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because when you get to see Clementine grow up and go from being this kind of you gotta help me.
What you mean grow up?
I'm sorry. How far did you play the Telltale game?
The first 2 seasons, the season 1, season 2, in 500 days. And that whole little package.
Yeah, so later there's more, bro.
There's a season 3.
You get to play as Clem. She's remember the little baby? The baby, he's a kid. It's a whole thing. Yes. Oh God, you have more to do, sir.
Add one more thing to the list.
There you go. But yeah, The Last of Us 2 is fucking dope. The only real criticism that I have for the game is I don't like the sequencing of events.
Is it out of time frame? Flash forward, flashback?
There's a lot of flashbacks, and the main thing with the game is they have these 2 separate, I guess you can call them both protagonists, and the way that they do it, they try to make you sympathetic to one character, but because of the sequencing of events, it's almost impossible. You can't. There's no way that you could feel for this character.
Yeah. Can you imagine playing the Walking Dead game and Clementine was unlikable?
Oh, Jesus. Yes, that's what this felt like.
You want to kick that bitch right into a zombie.
Oh, my God. Honestly, there was one part that I got to where I was purposely getting myself killed just because I wanted to see my character die. It felt like Until Dawn all over again.
All right. I mean, my week this week, it's been up and downs. Wifey's birthday. We went to the beach. I got sunburnt. Kids made fun of me. Called me a milk dud. Sorry. I'm gonna pour out all the milk in the morning.
No shit.
I'm petty like that.
Fuck all of y'all.
Besides that, man, just working. I did get me this Blue Moon mango wheat, which is actually pretty tasty.
Nice.
But I drank 5 of them at 2:00 in the morning last night, and now I only have one. So,
well, we appreciate you sharing it with us.
It's fucking terrible. Yo, you ready to get into it?
No, I'm not.
All right,
absolutely not.
So there's 2 main ones that we want to talk about.
Fucking
That's
hell.
going to be the Tory Lanez and Thee Stallion shooting, and what's the other? Oh, and Nick Cannon getting canned by Viacom CBS. A lot of that going around lately. Which one you want to do first?
You know what? Let's do the Nick Cannon thing. I feel like that's the heavier one. I would like to get that out of the way so I can breathe a little easier. Yeah.
Right. Nick Cannon was on a podcast with
he was on it was the Cannon Class podcast with Professor Griff,
formerly of Public Enemy, who himself got canned from Public Enemy for anti-Semitic comments.
Yes.
And Nick tried to sound intelligent, and he didn't. And he pissed off a lot of people, initially refusing to apologize. Viacom CBS let him go. We all know Viacom CBS, they're head of MTV, BET, VH1, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, where Cannon got his start. I mean, Cannon's been with them the longest, and he got axed. Just like D from The Challenge, same people who axed him. So this is very much in line with what they've been doing. So,
right.
But Nick Cannon isn't D. Nick Cannon is a creator. Nick Cannon is a good guy. He's corny. He's known to say some things he shouldn't say, but he's a good dude. He doesn't have a history of anti-Semitic statements. He doesn't have a history of saying some shit he probably shouldn't have said, but he's always been woke. He's always been open to learning. How did Nick Cannon's firing make you feel?
So I've been mulling this over for the better part of the day because I knew we were going to talk about it. And it's funny because I'm thinking in this moment right now, we don't have a million listeners. We don't have any crazy sponsorships or anything like that. But I imagine that one day, 2-3 years from now, somebody's going to come back to this episode and be like, hey, Ace is an anti-Semite because he didn't slam Nick Cannon for what he said. Because I don't slam him for what he said. I listened to it. I listened to it literally minutes before we started today. I listened to what he was saying, to the questions he was asking. And I will definitely say I'm a very simple person. I am not the most highly educated person. I am an expert on nothing in this world. I feel like they were having a discussion that deserves response. I feel like Nick, at least, Griff seemed very concrete in his beliefs and his understandings. He got his information from some OGs and he was like, no, this is what it is. Nick, to me, seemed like he was asking questions. He was looking to see how Griff ended up where he ended up, which is something I was curious about as well, honestly. You know, Public Enemy being from Roosevelt, being from our hood, you know what I'm saying? They hold a very special place in my heart. So to see any type of division in a group like that is something that's always going to be very interesting to me, and is going to be something that I want to know more about.
Right.
So I completely understand why Viacom did what they did. it makes sense for them to do that, especially in today's political climate. Like, somebody look like they bring in trouble, you toss them. There's no room for discussion. There's no room for education. But I truly believe that Nick didn't have any malice in what he was saying. And if somebody presented information contrary to what they were discussing, I feel like he would be very open to that. I feel like he would be open to have somebody come on Canon Class and explain. And, you know, I feel like it could be a very teachable moment about, Hebrew history, about Jewish history and things of that nature. In the brief bit of research that I was attempting to do before we got into this, considering what we know of the Bible and what we know scientifically about where the first people came from, they were black. I don't understand how saying that is an anti-Semitic statement. I would love to be educated on such. But combining the stories of religion and combining the science that we know of, it points to a lot of truth in what they're saying. Now, as far as, you know, Jewish people own everything, they run the world. I mean, does anyone know who owns Def Jam? It's Universal. Does anyone know who owns Universal? It's not a black guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, right, to a certain extent, there's some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying it to be negative. I'm saying it because if you Google the information of who owns what things, sometimes they're Jewish. Like, I don't understand how, just like he said on the show, I don't understand how facts become hate speech. I don't know.
So
yeah.
Anti-Semitism is a very tricky line to walk. Because almost the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is a Jewish interest group, and they protect Jewish interests. And they are very, don't get me wrong, they do a lot of good work, but they are very quick to slam people, get on people for being anti-Semitic. And some of the stuff they do go after is right on point. I mean, Mel Gibson is one of their favorite targets.
Oh, you got to get him.
The problem that I have with the anti-Semitic thing is any criticism of Jewish policies turn into, oh, you're anti-Semite.
Right.
I've been screaming Free Palestine for as long as I can remember.
Facts.
I don't have a problem with Jews. I have Jewish friends. I kid. But I have a lot of harsh criticisms when it comes to Israel's domestic policy on how they've been treating the Palestinians. I think it's horrendous. Now, these are my criticisms against the state of Israel, a country.
Right.
It just so happens that they are Jewish, but my criticisms aren't because they are who they are. So almost anything you say, you got to walk a real fine line. I'm pretty sure that's how the ADL would like things. You get into a lot of trouble when you say all people are the people. You say the Jews or all the Jews or this is controlled by the Jews. You got to watch that kind of stuff because you're going to get called out for it. Like I said before, Nick Cannon's a good brother. He's woke. He cares about the African American plight. He tried to sound a little bit more intelligent and may not have had all the information, but like you said, I feel like it was more inquisitive, and I don't think anybody took it as malice. But some of the things he was saying, I think it took him a couple of days to realize how hurtful it was to the people he was talking about, and I don't think it was intentional. And this is a good chance where it probably was a better teachable moment than you dropping the axe. Because, and now it gets ugly because now Nick Cannon wants ownership of Wildin' Out.
Well, there's so many issues on top of this. Like, First, I want to discuss the issues that Nick is going through, because as he's dealing with this whole situation, come to find out that one of his mans, dude that was signed to his record label and all of this, he had previously been he had been shot. He was in the hospital. He was going through physical therapy, trying to recover and all of this, and he had recently taken his life. So while Nick is out here fighting this battle, first against, being called, a hateful person, an anti-Semite, then when he did finally issue an apology, saying like, yo, there was no malice in what I said, I'm trying to learn, I want to sit and talk with people and, this, that, and the third, then black people turned on him. And it was like, yo, why would you apologize? Blah, 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 blah. So it's like he's taking all this heat from both sides, and then he loses somebody who's close to him. You know what I'm saying? So right now, he's going through so much at a level that I find it difficult to even wrap my mind around. And now he's fighting for this show that he created. Now he's, Fox is apparently supporting him. So he's still gonna be the host of The Masked Singer and things like that when when that continues. So it's like there's so much going on in this man's life from one conversation. And it's crazy to me, because what could have happened here, you take such a notable figure, have someone from the ADL, have a well-respected rabbi go on his show, have him use his platform to explain why he's wrong. When we cut off people like this who have such notoriety, we lose the opportunity to learn. There's people like me who are going to see this, who I think Nick Cannon is a dope dude. He makes his mistakes, but I think he's a very well-read, very well-educated dude who has a lot of reach. If they had this conversation on his show, I could have learned a lot from that. But now that opportunity might be gone. And now it's like we're creating more division. We're creating more hate, because now there are people who look up to Nick who are like, oh, who are the people who got him fired? Oh, I hate them now. And it's like we could have bridged the gap there. We could have filled in this gap of information, and we might have lost that opportunity. And I feel like this is why cancel culture is such a dangerous thing, because you're destroying when you could be building.
I agree with you. I think he's a solid dude. I do support him. Apparently, Diddy also supports him. He told him, hey, Revolt is truly black owned. You can come on home. So I'm glad he's starting to see some support. And, in certain cases, I do support cancel culture. Some people deserve to be canceled. Because people, you hear both sides of the coin. Oh, cancel culture is so stupid. You shouldn't do that, da-da-da. And I go, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby. You shut the fuck up. Sometimes canceling people is the right thing to do. But if there is a moment where it is teachable, teach.
Let's take advantage of it. Yeah.
Some people don't deserve it, but you got to take it by a case-by-case basis. And that's just how I got to go.
Agreed.
Now, let's go ahead and get into the one I want to talk about.
Wait, hold on. We still have a show? We haven't been canceled?
Yeah. We're still here. I mean, not a lot of listeners, but we're still here. Let's go ahead and talk about... Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Meg Thee Stallion got shot, apparently.
Oh! It's a real-life whodunit.
Yeah.
Who shot Mr. Burns?
Who shot Meg Thee Stallion?
How old am I? Jesus Christ.
Apparently, she got shot by a fellow artist who's apparently like 5'5" with brown eyes. And this whole thing is a mess. So, Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion is over at a Kardashian's house. I think Kylie Jenner or...
Yes. It was Kylie. Yep. They were at the pool party, getting it shaken, no masks on.
Name? Not the Kardashians, the other Jenner.
Kylie and Kendall?
Kendall. Okay. Was she there? I don't know. But anyway, there was in Hollywood Hills with the Jenners. And something happened. Apparently, Meg tried to leave the car, and apparently Tory may have accidentally shot her. The car get pulled over by the police in the leg or the foot. They get pulled over. It's all on camera. Meg comes out, limping out, bleeding from the foot. Tory's laying on the ground. They get bagged. He is a person of interest, charged with, I think it's, criminal possession of a firearm and reckless endangerment. Some shit of the sort. Now, first off, I didn't even know Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion was a thing. I could have sworn I just seen G-Eazy like licking her face like a fucking bulldog. Like, I could have sworn that was just happening. But what the fuck do I know? That shit is wild. There's so much of this shit we don't know. Okay, what do you think happened with Meg Thee Stallion getting shot?
Bruh, honestly, I have no fucking idea. Because, okay, so you said it might have been an accident, but the report is that there were 4 shots fired. I've heard of people accidentally letting off a shot. I don't know how you accidentally let off 4 shots. That's a new trick I've never heard of. Also, there has been like some back and forth between like some of Meg's people, like going after Tory on social media.
Said his days are numbered.
Days are numbered. That is a wild statement to say to somebody.
Those are bold fucking words. Now, and here goes the thing. Meg Thee Stallion is one of the most popular artists in the world. Fam, she just had a Beyonce feature. Beyonce feature. She's all over the charts. Tory Lanez just went independent. Dropped Chicks Tape 5, dropped the new Toronto 3, which we reviewed on this show. He puts out hot projects every other month. He is killing it. I didn't even know there was a fucking thing, apparently. I don't even know how deep, just so much we don't know. And apparently, Meg isn't talking.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I watched this YouTube channel, IO, right? My girlfriend put me on. Shout out to Rayla Devine. She put me onto the channel, and they give like a lot of like tea spilling and stuff like that, and which is a phrase I hate, and I don't know why I said it. But anyway, so I was watching their video about the situation, and basically it's like from Meg's perspective, she's not naming anybody. She's not really talking about the details of the situation, but she says something along the lines of, you know, it's bad that it took this situation for me to learn to protect my energy. To me, that sounds like someone very close to her. And she even said in her statement that it was somebody purposely did this to cause her harm. So...
What?
I'm like,
why? Why did you shoot Meg Thee Stallion? She's so not problematic.
Haters, man. Haters. Like, come on, fam. You see somebody blowing up.
Don't get me wrong.
But we don't know if it was Tory. We don't know if it was Tory. Come on. We don't.
It seems, come on. It says coming out. The person who's speaking out against him is very close to Meg. So you may not be talking to the cops, but you talking to somebody. First off, fam. You just went independent. You just dropped the new Toronto 3, which was very well received. That Broke in a Minute, I play that shit almost every day. That's my shit. Why are you at the Jenner's house with a ratchet?
I mean...
You thought OJ was coming? Why are you in Hollywood Hills at a Jenner's house with a ratchet?
But how many artists do we know do shit like that?
Fam, get security. Why are you at the Jenner's house with a ratchet? It's fucking stupid. If you somewhere and you feel like you need to have the ratchet on you, then you probably shouldn't be there.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Can we just talk about bad decisions that people make? Like,
listen. I just finished up a New York gun charge, so I don't know how good my words is on this, but yeah, leave the guns alone. If
you're speaking from personal experience, like.
And the thing that I have the biggest problem with, assuming that it was Tory who popped off on Meg. I like Tory as an artist. I listen to the Chick's tape. Tory is a significant reason why the human population is going up. Somebody throw Chick's Tapes 3, Chick's Tape 4 on, and people are getting pregnant. What am I to think of a man who has pulled a deadly weapon out on a female? And you pulled a ratchet out on a female. What kind of man are you? Now, like I said, I'm not speaking to him directly. I don't know him, and we don't know all the information. But based off what we do know, and he did do the shooting, yo, what kind of man is that?
Oh, so let me go back to our previous discussion about cancel culture. If capital I, capital F, underline, bold italics, if he did pop off on Meg Thee Stallion, you gotta throw him out. You gotta throw the whole person out. Like it's a wrap. I don't want to hear anything from you. I don't want to hear your music. I don't want to hear an interview. I don't want to hear anything. Like, unless it's got to be some super extenuating circumstances for you to say, like, did she have a gun? Did she have, like, your mom in a chokehold and that was the only way to get her off? Like, bro.
Yo, but when it comes down to Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, how do you say, I mean, can you just imagine this 5'3" black crispy balding nigga sitting in the car just like, how can I top Chris Brown and Rihanna? How can I top this? When you've done something that's worse than Chris Brown and Rihanna, you fucked up.
Yo,
you fucked up. If you're in that conversation, you fucked up.
Somewhere Chris Brown was reading TMZ and went, thank God.
Yeah, you know who did that? Will and Jada. Yo, good looks, Tory. Cleaning our whole plate. Good looks. Nobody talking about Will and Jada right now. Everybody forgot about entanglement.
It's funny you say that because August Alsina said, wait, hold up. He did what? Hold my beer. And dropped Entanglements. He just dropped the single.
God, can he be any more of a fuck nigga? Damn.
Yo, he is the fucking worst, yo.
Come on.
He is the goddamn worst.
I give him props for capitalizing. Niggas gotta make their bread anyway. Yo, not a lot of money's flying around these days. Jesus,
nah, fuck that. Nah, he gotta do better.
He has to be a better human fucking being.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. That would be nice if a lot more people did that. Fucking entanglements. Fucking clown. But, yo, this Tory Meg shit is just totally fucked up. The thing about it is, thank God that it's not as bad as it could have been. Lord knows, this shit could have gone way worse. Could have popped Meg in the helmet.
And, bro. Oh, my God.
Fam. He could have killed everybody in the car. He could have shot the driver on, fam.
You know what?
At least everybody's good, but
here's the fucked up thing too. Like, knowing how hip hop goes, knowing how beef with producers and managers and stuff like that goes. When I first heard about this shooting, first thing I thought was, oh, that's Meg's old people. The same people that she's trying to sue, the same people she's trying to get, you know what I'm saying, out of that record deal. I was like, oh, that's them. And I'm just like, the first thing I was looking at, like, where was it? Who did it? Like, what, you know, and they said there was no damage to the outside of the vehicle. They said that, it didn't look like, anyone was shooting at the vehicle. It looked like it was something that happened inside the vehicle. So I'm just like, and there's some conflicting stories about, like, Tory was trying to shoot at somebody that was threatening Meg, and there's so many fucking stories swirling right now that, like, I'm just glad motherfuckers are still alive.
It's just not enough information out to really make an informed decision. But this is something I'm probably going to keep my eye on very closely. It's very, very fucked up.
Absolute.
All right. time to get into our movie and album of the week.
Yes.
It was your week. Which one would you like to lead with?
Let's go ahead and bang out the music. I'll get that out of the way.
Good. It should be a quick one.
It should.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize.
All right. Okay, cool.
I was reaching. I had nothing, bro.
There's so many good projects out. The thing about it is when you first say, okay, first off, what was the choice of the album you wanted?
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna defend myself.
Okay,
because
floor is yours.
It bears defending. All right, so I chose the Insecure season 4 soundtrack. Right now, I love the show Insecure. I haven't had the opportunity to watch it recently because I don't do cable, I do streaming, and I only watch it when I'm at my dude Twizz's crib and we binge it. So I haven't seen it in a while, but I was like, yo, the music on the show is dope. Also, there are some super classic soundtracks in my life. The Space Jam soundtrack, Soul Food, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, like some fire soundtracks out there. So I was like, yo, let me throw this on. This might have some low-key classics on it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the kids are listening to nowadays. And hold on. It was better than I thought. Okay, and
I would agree.
Let me tell you a revelation that I had listening to the first 2 tracks, which I didn't like. I didn't like them, but what I realized is I have to let those types of tracks rock. When you have these chicks that have these songs about like, oh, you know, he better pay, yo, you gonna eat this pussy, yo, you better put it down, blah, 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 blah. Clearly, that's not for me. Duh. But I'm like, that type of music is for all the women who had to grow up listening to like Dipset. And like listening to, DMX said terrible things about women throughout his career.
We're going to talk about him more before this day is done.
Okay.
Because he has a big day coming tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, so that was something that is an epiphany that I had, was like, I need to stop looking down on a lot of this music because, one, again, it's not for me. They're not going in the booth like, hey, I need to make this for this 34-year-old black male. No, it's not me that they're doing this for. They're doing it for themselves. They're doing it for women. They're doing it for women like them. I gotta respect it. I've listened to Cameron talking about choking women on dicks for God knows how long.
Cameron and Dipset was pure fucking ignorance.
Oh, shit, like just the worst. I drive around listening to Purple Haze, and sometimes I got to turn it down when I'm in parking lots because I'm just like, I don't feel too comfortable listening to this.
I still fuck with Dipset. I would agree with you that I didn't hate it nearly as much as I thought I was going to. It wasn't the worst.
It wasn't, especially like I want to say from like track 6 or 7 down. When they got more into kind of like an R&B vibe?
Right. It was definitely much better off. You talked about the first 2 songs. The second one was Eat Itself, which it's a terrible song, but I liked it. I was like, this shit gets busy. And I liked it because it was a song I don't normally like. And also track 5, Feng Shui. You know, it's the auto-tune.
Oh, I hated that
whole kind of.
I hated it. I hated it.
Kind of liked it. Wasn't the worst. The one before that, the Dirty song was just fucking god awful. But I try to look at it through a different lens. I try to look at it as, imagine, and Insecure is one of those shows that I know that I would probably love if I did watch it. I've never seen Insecure, but I've only heard good things about it. And I try to look at the context of, these are the songs playing in the back of a TV show. So
there
these
you go.
are, you know, and don't get me wrong, these are probably regular artists, and a lot of them make the same a lot of the same artists make appearances throughout the soundtrack. So I'm just like, they're not all terrible. They do have talent. Production was actually pretty fine, and it wasn't bad. But kind of like what you thought about the Tinashe album of just background music, this would be okay background music. But I can.
Yeah,
but
I thought that too.
There's better background music.
Oh shit!
It's not even top tier background music, but it's not the worst. I would say you can go ahead and skip this. I would say skip the soundtrack, watch the show.
Yes. And if you hear one of these songs in the background, then you can look it up if you're feeling it. Yeah.
You don't really. Yeah. You don't really. You're good.
Oh
you're
shit!
Good.
Okay. All right. But we did have some extra tracks. We had some bonus tracks, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted to discuss. I'm gonna start what was the Man on the Moon?
Yeah, there was two of them I wanted to do. I wanted to do Moonman meets Slim Shady, the Kid Cudi and Slim Shady track. And the other one, Drake just dropped a 2-pack, which I didn't even listen to yet. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't even listen to it yet. And you know what happened when that Drake Khaled 2-pack comes out, right? You know that Drake album is right around the corner.
Which people have been speculating on for a minute. They were like, yo, this pandemic ain't gonna stop Drake. He gonna drop something before the summer's over.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we got the Khaled 2-pack, so you know that's coming on. I didn't even check that out, but I did check out the Slim Shady Moonman joint. I like Kid Cudi. I think he's cool. He's all right. And I love Eminem. But fam,
I don't like the way this started.
Listen, y'all niggas gotta stop doing songs with Eminem. He's killing y'all. Now, a couple of people have actually held up pretty well. Say what you want about MGK. MGK's Eminem disc, that shit hit hard.
Oh, yeah, he got in his ass.
And I know a lot of people think that Slim Shady won it with Killshot.
He did not, no.
Huh?
He did not win. Nope.
MGK got him. Good. We're on the same page. MGK hit hard. So he's able to keep up with M. And that's very impressive because I never really thought too much of MGK. I don't dislike him, but I don't listen to MGK. But he apparently, motherfucker can spit. Joyner Lucas can keep up with M. That was nice to see. And that song, Homicide with Logic, fucking love that song. That song was dope. Logic definitely kept up and did a great job. But come on, just everybody else, just about. Very few people can keep up with M. Kid Cudi is not one of them.
Oh, shit.
He's not. It's not a bad song. It's a good song. Great production. I think M probably produced it. It's a good song.
No, I didn't hear any military drums on this. No, there's no way.
You might be right. It's definitely a good song. Throw it into one of your more current playlists. It's good to go. But Cudi, don't do that shit to yourself again.
Oh, shit.
Remember, Jay-Z and Eminem did a song.
They did.
And Jay-Z had one of his hardest verses ever. Renegade was Jay-Z at his best. And Eminem cruise controlled right over him. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Renegade is just an amazing song. Over an Eminem beat. And Jay-Z's, oh my God. I mean, poignant and perfectly phrased. It was he rode the beat perfectly. This is Jay at his best. And Eminem cruise controlled through it. Cruise control. Wasn't paying attention. What was your take on it?
Honestly, like, it was cool.
It was cool.
Nothing
crazy.
I enjoyed hearing Cudi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed his
return
flow.
to form.
Right. I enjoyed that. So here is how my ears work now, right? When I hear Eminem, it kind of becomes white noise to me. I tuned a little bit more into it than I normally do because it was a flow that I haven't necessarily heard from him before, which was awesome.
It's a good thing.
But I don't want to hear M rap anymore. I want him to stop. I want him to sit down, and I want him to forever just have a remote in his hand and just fucking watch TV and just stop. Please stop.
You know what it is? You can't let M pick his own beats anymore. You gotta pick his beats for him. That's the magnificence of Dr. Dre. With a Dre beat and Dre telling him where to put a hook and how to do it. When Eminem started straying for that and his work with Dre was more sporadic, you see, I mean, come on. Like, I would give a left nut for a real Marshall Mathers LP follow-up. That'd be crazy. But he's also not the same M. He's not nearly as angry.
No, but here's the problem. Yes, he is. And I don't understand why. You have nothing left to prove, sir. You've won every battle in the history of your life. You have this beautiful daughter who has, despite you, grown up to be a functional human being somehow. You have this amazing legacy of a music career that you have tried several times to fucking destroy. What more do you? Why are you still mad? Why do you feel the need to continue to do this? Just sit down. Sit down.
It's time for M to retire.
Please, for the love of God, sit down and shut the fuck up forever.
Is Ali still taking fights? Tyson still taking fights? When just know you're done. All you're doing is fucking with your legacy.
That's all you're doing right now. Just please. Yo, I wouldn't say I'm as big a wrestling fan as I used to be, but
none of us are. We're 30.
Nah, fuck that. It's still real to me, damn it. But no, there's one thing that still holds true. You're only as good as your last match. And it's like, okay, cool. This verse was fine. I can't say nah, it was garbage. No, he, whatever. But more my question is why? It's I look at Eminem the same way I look at The Undertaker. Why are you still here?
Oh, you know what? Especially after that Goldberg match, man. That shit was sad.
So, especially after that MGK match. That was sad. Why are you still here? Even the reason they were beefing. You were beefing because he said that you have a beautiful daughter. She's attractive. He ain't saying that crazy. Bruh, why are you mad at me? I looked up to you, and out of all the things in the fucking universe, you're like, this is the thing I need to go into the booth and do. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Sit down.
Now, speaking of people who need to retire and who are advanced in age and may need to sit down, there's a versus battle coming up tomorrow, and it's going to be DMX versus Snoop Dogg. Or is that tonight? Is that Mondays or Tuesdays versus does it?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let out a little secret about myself. I love the versus series. Haven't watched a fucking one of them. I have. No, I love the concept of it. I love the artists that they choose. I love the excitement that it creates for the culture. I have not watched fucking one of them.
That's a lot of people. Or like me, I just tune in every couple of minutes. I'm busy. I don't got time to watch a whole bunch of really former stars. These people aren't the most current. I mean, you still have Fab and Jada, and that was hilarious because they were both fucked up. And for some reason, Fab's DJ wouldn't play none of his hits. He's like, "Fuck that, all B-sides."
Mixtapes only.
Yo, I didn't understand that at all. But let's talk about the matchup. DMX's catalog versus Snoop's catalog. And it's simple. Snoop smokes X. Smokes him. Don't get me wrong. I love DMX. Love X. I could tell you every single word of his first 3 albums. But catalog versus catalog, for the public, Snoop wins.
I don't know that I could agree with that. I mean, when you say that you could quote all of DMX's first 3 albums, you're talking about 3 platinum albums. That's a lot of people that know a lot of them lyrics.
One word. Doggy Style.
Okay. Name
Doggy Style
another
has
Snoop
probably
album.
sold more than all of those albums put together.
Name another Snoop album.
The Blue album. The shit he did with No Limit.
Okay.
He was all
and
over
your favorite
the
song
chronic.
from that album is?
Listen. Think of the hits. Dre Day. Gin and Juice.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of even the more current shit. Beautiful. Sexual Eruption. Snoop has hits.
Yeah, absolute.
Deep Cover. Now check this out. X got hits too. But one, X is going to be a lot more grittier. They're not all going to be straight, for the public. When you put Snoop's hits against X hits, Snoop kills X.
I can't agree with that. I cannot in good conscience agree with that. Do I think overall Snoop might win?
Yes. Next episode.
But kill X?
Kill
You're
him.
out of your fucking mind.
Kill him.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Gonna kill him.
Yes, X got grittier songs, of course, but you're not gonna sit here and act like motherfuckers wasn't rocking to at least one X song per summer since he's been out.
Me saying Snoop is gonna kill X is by no way saying X is inferior or he's not good. Snoop just has so much more catalog. His hits are so much bigger, and he's way more mainstream and likable.
I cannot dispute those points. But
points.
No. You're absolutely right. The man is friends with Martha Stewart. He's on commercials with her. Like, come on. It doesn't get more marketable than that.
And so many Dre beats. I mean, when Gin and Juice comes on, when Dre Day comes on, Deep Cover, Bitch Please.
Bro, come on. Some X shit. Rough Riders Anthem.
See, some X shit is not gonna come out on that.
What? And see, this is why the wrong motherfuckers is in charge of that shit. Because it should be on there.
That's
and
a
absolutely
B-side.
fucking sure.
That was a great song, but it's also incredibly violent and disturbing. It's a great song. I love it. Funny thing about that song. Back in the day when I first came out, we still had cassette tapes.
Yes.
And so I had the whole Rough Riders joint on there, but that song got fucked up at the end. And I only had like the first verse and the second half. And I was mad because I loved the song so much. I was just like, what the fuck is the second half of this song?
Oh, fuck.
I didn't hear it till like years later.
Yo, nah, that is my shit.
It's fucking amazing.
Bruh,
It's amazing.
Even if you go his verse on Touch
Snoop,
It.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's just gonna kill shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do I think Snoop is gonna win? Yes. Do I think he's gonna kill him? That's extreme. That's extreme.
All right, let's go ahead and cap this off with the movie. What movie did you pick this week?
I picked The Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron.
Who I love, by the way.
She's fucking awesome. That's why you love her.
Fast and Furious. I don't know what the fuck was going on with those micro braids. That's like, what the fuck? Outside of that,
we'll just say that wasn't her idea.
And also starring, and I'm gonna hack this up because just so you can correct me.
Oh, get it.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Hold on, wait, hold on. I know who you're talking about.
He's in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. He plays
Chiwetel
Baramordo
Ejiofor. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that could be it.
He said that could be it. You know what? I don't even know why I'm looking it up because it's not like I'm some fucking expert on African names.
I was counting on you knowing. I just don't want to seem fucked up. I don't want to seem disrespectful.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah, we can
fuck with that. Definitely going to Google that and wait till somebody from E! News pronounce that shit.
Right, it's just some fucking white dude says his
Exactly.
name perfectly. We're such pieces of shit. Give me a Japanese name and I'll say that shit perfectly.
Right.
I can't say a fucking African name. I'm
Yeah.
fucking garbage.
We
But
ain't
anyway,
shit. So what was this movie about?
Okay. I don't think it's. No, that's not giving it away. I mean, well, we gotta
No,
fucking
wait,
spoil.
we
We
can go
spoil
ahead and give
everything.
it away. They gave it away in the trailer, and also, spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like every time we talk about movies and shit like that, we spoil the fuck out of it, and we never warn anybody. So like, just a forever spoiler warning. Every time we talk about some shit, we gonna fuck it up. So
Facts.
yeah. But yeah, so basically what you're dealing with are a group of immortals who are just trying to fucking deal. Like just being warriors because they grew up in warrior times and just trying to make the world a better place and becoming more and more exhausted with the fact that humanity fucking sucks. Which
I'm glad you're focusing on that part. You forget the part where their whole world is turned upside down when a crazy evil maniac decides to capture them and harvest their stem cells.
fuck all of that shit. No, but to me that's just this generation's iteration of witch hunting. Like whereas in the past,
And that took place in a movie too, where at some point
exactly. Literal witch hunting where it's like, we don't know what you are, we're afraid of you, we have to kill you. And of course they're immortal, so they tried to kill them in multiple fucking ways. And Jesus Christ, my anxiety shot through the fucking roof. They took one of the characters, locked her in this iron fucking box with the face cut out.
Great cinematography on that.
Oh my god, fucking 30 minutes after they showed that scene, that's all I could think of. I'm like, yo, fuck this, go find her. Like
That was definitely a jarring visual. So let me ask you, why did you pick this movie?
Why did I pick this movie? I picked this movie because, one, I'm a fan of Charlize Theron. Two, my girlfriend is a mega fan of Charlize Theron. And two...
Three.
Ooh, yeah. Fuck math. Ich, ni, san. So, and the third reason was it was an action movie not starring a white man. And I was very happy about that. It was still a white woman.
We'll take it.
But I'll take it. Like, baby steps. Like, and I want to say that she said this in an interview, or maybe it was an article I read or something like that. But basically, she wanted to do this movie to show you can have female leads in these action movies and they can do numbers. It is not something that Hollywood should shy away from. You don't always need Bruce Willis or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone to fucking sell your action movie. Like,
yeah, but come on. Angelina Jolie has been doing this for a minute.
And how well has it gone? Let's really talk.
There's varying degrees of success. Some of them have
Right.
been very successful. Some of them have been salt.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I honestly, I really dug it. I really fucking enjoyed the movie. I honestly, the gay couple was my favorite fucking part of the movie.
That one scene was, I was taken aback by it when they was locked in the back of the car and they're kicking him around. He goes, "Oh, what is this? Your boyfriend? He's not my boyfriend." I was sitting there like, yo, I thought that shit, I thought that was one of the dopest scenes ever.
Bars.
I felt bad for the scene because I feel like that scene should have been in a better movie. Not saying that this movie is bad, but that is a world class scene.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. It was he gave them he gave them a full 16. Like,
yeah.
oof.
And I think
even the guards were taken aback.
Yes,
like,
and I think that would have been a realistic reaction to what was said. I thought that was a very, very dope scene, and shout out to the writers for that. That was great.
And I'm glad that you said that phrase, realistic reaction. Throughout this movie, I feel like there were a lot of realistic reactions from the characters. The I don't know that. I guess you could say the secondary protagonist, Kiki Lane.
Yes.
Who played Nile. Understanding what she was, the slow process that it took to not only wrap your mind around the fact that, oh shit, I'm immortal, but then coming to terms with these people who have been alive since, Napoleon, the Crusades, and beyond. Like, we still don't have a full understanding of how old Andy is, how old Charlize Theron's character is. Having her deal with the concept of having to separate herself from her family, who she is apparently extremely close to, knowing that no matter what happens, you are going to outlive them. They are going to die, and you are going to have to watch it happen if you're even in their lives. And dealing with the way that society is now, being hunted for what you are, people wanting to harness your powers or use your powers or whatever. There was so much that she had to deal with. And I felt like the way that she handled it, the way her character expressed herself, the way she questioned certain things, I felt like it was extremely realistic. Personally, and I said this several times during the movie, if I found out I was immortal today, you got to give me 6 fucking months to deal with that shit. Just leave me the fuck alone. I have to wrap my mind around this. Like, no, I'm not running a mission 24 hours later.
Right. That's really dope, because I think I would be okay with it like 20 minutes in. Like, let's go. Let's go do some wild shit. When you gave me this movie, especially after the album I got, I was like, oh man, this motherfucker does it to me again. Netflix released a movie, and now he wants me to watch it. And I just knew that I was going to hate this fucking movie.
But you didn't.
I didn't. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not saying it's a great movie at all, but so much better. It reminded me of another movie I was really wrong about. When Knocked Up first came out, I did not care to see it. I was just like, this
holy
looks stupid.
Shit.
This looks stupid. And then one day, my friends came over like, let's watch, I'm sorry, not Knocked Up, 40-year-old version.
Oh, there we go. That I can back you on.
When that came out, I was like, this looks stupid. Like, I don't want to watch this. I thought it was going to be some dumb Adam Sandler-like movie where, and God, it was a 40-year-old version was fucking hilarious.
Classic.
Hilarious. I was wrong about it. The action was on point. Charlize Theron played, the pained leader, and she did a pretty okay job. I like the fact that Charlize Theron, still acts and still, it looks like she's at least gave a shit about the project. Not like Extraction with Liam Hemsworth, like dude was fucking phoning it in. So, at least she gave a fuck. I definitely like Kiki Lane, the girl who played Nah. I thought she did a great job.
Absolutely.
I'm not really familiar with any of her other work, but I did like her in this. I do feel like a lot of her feelings and reactions aren't the reactions I would have, but I did feel like they was realistic. And the gay couple, I didn't think that was that deep, but that scene definitely was just amazing.
Wow, yeah. She doesn't have a lot of credits, honestly.
Like a relative unknown?
If Beale Street Could Talk is probably, I would say, the biggest credit she has. She also appeared in an episode of Chicago Med. Like, she's pretty under the radar. Yeah.
But the biggest problem I had with it was the villain. You're only as good as your villain. And the whole mad scientist thing was just so fucking boring from jump.
Yeah.
It would have been so much more interesting if the actual villain was the former immortal that got dropped in the bottom of an ocean. I want to hear her story, which she does come back at the end. And it seems like all of these Netflix movies are being set up for sequels. This, Extraction, just all of these
Six
things.
Underground.
Yeah, exactly. All setting up for future big properties, intellectual properties, which I don't hate. But the bad part about it is, the villain becomes such a major part of the story, and he is so fucking thin.
Oh, I hated him.
Just so thin.
Garbage.
And
Garbage.
The bad part about that is it brings down a significant portion of the movie. Because once you get into the middle of the second act, it all comes to about, we got to hunt the guy who's hunting us. And I just wish they could have focused this on anything else. But outside of that, I did find it enjoyable. I didn't feel like I wasted my time. It's a decent movie. I would actually suggest go watch it. It's a good watch.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, like, I would say the characters as individuals are better than the story overall. Like,
I would agree.
This was, in my opinion, this was an obvious setup for something bigger. They're hoping for, and this is something that is based on a comic. So
didn't know that.
Yeah. So one of the first things I said when this was over, especially the way they played that ending, this to me was a perfect example that Marvel doesn't have the monopoly on good stories. Like, there are other comic properties out there that can be brought to life well and can immerse an audience in something they don't already know about.
You know what? One more thing to add that I did like, great action with minimal CGI.
Yes. And that's
supernatural, high action, big budget, not a lot of CGI. I felt like there wasn't any unnecessary CGI. Of course, I may have missed something, but I didn't. But I mean, just not feeling overdone these days, I feel like is an accomplishment.
And that's why I made the Marvel comparison, because when you're dealing with Marvel, like with the suits and the monsters and all of these things that they have in those types of movies, they're all larger than life, and CGI plays a big role in that. They didn't need that to tell this story, and it was still extremely engaging despite a lackluster villain. But I feel like that villain was there because he had to be there.
Because they needed a villain to focus their efforts on it.
Right, exactly.
Because when you have these characters and they have these long stories, we met in the Middle Ages. Oh, I was born in, 1312. Let's get some of those stories where you was hacking up Mongolians during the Black Plague. That's a movie. There's so many places to go with this.
And this is why when it ended and we saw the drowned character, I wish I could fucking remember her name.
Quinn.
What? Quinn. Thank you. Yeah. Jesus Christ. When we saw her show up, when Quinn showed up, I was just like, why isn't this a series? I want the next episode. I want it now. I want more right now. And all I wanted was this to be a 10 to 12 episode first season, because I wanted more of these characters. And honestly, I think that might be a product of streaming. I don't necessarily want movies anymore. I don't know.
Movies are harder to commit to sometimes because, you could pocket away an hour, good to go. But I'm actually glad. I usually trash you for your movie picks. And this one was a good one. It was a good one. And readily available. Like, my bad about Ad Astra. That was fucking problem. That was a problem.
Oh, Jesus. Going through the trouble of watching it, and then it was what it was. Fuck.
I found a lot of things I like about it, but I get your take. So before we get out of here, it's time to wrap it up with a little place that I like to call Choo Choo Recommendation Station.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it was your week, which means it's my turn to go first. And
yes.
First off, I want to point out that I got something in the mail today that I can't wait to get to, and it is Whisper by Braxton Books. Sorry, I got heavy lights and it's green. There's a green screen.
Right.
This was right at my door when I came home, and I'm really can't wait to get it. That is Whisper by Brandon Baxton. The publisher is Baxton Books. Really can't wait to get my hands onto it. It does look like it's not too heavy of a read, which is great, so I should knock it out pretty soon. Can't wait to read that.
Hell yeah.
But my recommendation is definitely going to be something you mentioned, because I remember a couple episodes ago we talked about Joe Budden.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I always like Joe Budden. I always thought he was a good character. I love his music. And I was just like, wow, I never really listened to the Joe Budden podcast.
Gasp.
Bruh, that shit is amazing.
What? Like, holy shit, I can't believe you never listened before.
Never listened. And let me tell you something. I feel dumb for not to. They're like episode 360. I'm like, damn. But you know what? It's kind of cool because I got a whole lot of shit to catch up on. When so I much discovered the Jeselnik and Rosenthal podcast, I had like 50 episodes to go through, and plus I had the first podcast I had to go through, and it was such a great ride through all of that. So I got 360 episodes, plenty to go back on, and I needed a new podcast to get into. You probably already heard of it. It's new to me. Love it. Joe Budden Podcast. What's going to be your recommendation for our listeners?
I mentioned it earlier in the show, and is definitely going to have to be my recommendation. If you are on that Sony Life wave, if you have a PS4,
I have both,
bro. Go. All right, okay, Mr. Moneybags. Fucking Ghost of Tsushima. Like,
is this a sequel or is this a standalone game?
No, this is a standalone game from Sucker Punch Studios, the same team that did the Infamous series.
Wait. The Infamous, the guy with like the arm, and he was just like running through the city.
He had like the electric powers and I
didn't play the second one, but I remember the first one was so much fun.
Bro, it's oh my god. So to me, as a gamer, as somebody who's like really into the industry and shit like that, seeing the evolution of this studio from those Infamous games, the ones on the PlayStation 3, Infamous 1 and 2, and then seeing Infamous Second Son on the PlayStation 4, seeing their open world gameplay kind of grow and expand, seeing their storytelling improve, leading us to this, holy shit. Like, the level of evolutionary leap here is like the fucking discovery of penicillin. Like, it is mind blowing. It's an open world game, but unlike other companies I could think of, like I don't know, Ubisoft, where everything is, go to place, take tower, unlock map, blah 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 blah, rinse and repeat.
That got old so fast.
So fucking fast, and they do it in everything. But in this game, just like, they give you a little tutorial, of course, you need that. But for the most part, the things in the game just fit to the story. For instance, instead of having waypoints, what you do is you swipe up on the controller and the wind blows in the direction that you need to go. When you're wandering around on the map, you'll see these little golden birds start flying by, and you're like, oh shit, it's a golden bird. You follow the bird to wherever it lands, and it leads you to secret locations. You see foxes, which is explained throughout the gameplay. It's just a small little side conversation that you have with a character. But you see a fox, you follow the fox, and the fox will lead you to a particular thing that helps increase your stats. Resting in hot springs increases your maximum health while you contemplate things in your life. Like, everything in this game just feels extremely organic, yet it's tied to certain parts of the gameplay. And it feels so alive. It feels so immersive on a level that I haven't felt in fucking years. Like, and I can't tell you how many times I have stopped and just looked into the distance to take screenshots. The game is beautiful on a level that, Jesus.
Well, Jesus, that is one hell of a fucking review.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not mad at it. Let me ask you a question. Do I play that before The Last of Us 2?
No. You play it after The Last of Us 2. Okay. And let me tell you why. Because The Last of Us 2 is you are very mortal. You're very easy to kill. You're an average person. You know, the stealth elements that they add to The Last of Us 2 that build on the gameplay of the first one are fantastic. Being able to go prone, having like tall grass and stuff like that to sneak through, and not just your gameplay improvements, but the enemy's gameplay improvements. So in The Last of Us 2, they have situations where like some of your enemies will have dogs. So they'll follow your scent. You have to like try to shake that. You have to deal with enemies who will call out flanking orders and things like that. And when you kill them, their friends scream out their names. And Jesus, if you just want to feel like a terrible person, there's no better way to do it. But after playing The Last of Us 2, going into the Ghost of Tsushima, the stealth elements, in my opinion, are much easier, which makes it, that much more fun to get into. But there's less fear. You're not trying to avoid enemies. You're a samurai. You want to face your enemy head on. So they have this standoff option where, like, let's say you ride your horse into an enemy camp. You press up on the directional pad and you go to a standoff. You stand there, you hold triangle with your hand on the blade.
Of course you have one.
Why wouldn't I? You stand there with your hand on the blade, right?
Right.
And then as soon as the enemy makes a move, you press triangle and boom, cut him. Right on the spot. Man down. And what the awesome difference is between this and The Last of Us is you don't have that fear. It's like the difference between Resident Evil and Devil May Cry. Right. Resident Evil, you want to avoid fights and preserve ammo. In Devil May Cry, you want to murder everything.
Got you. Damn, that definitely sounds like a really, really intense experience. And
hell yeah.
Actually, I heard about the game. I thought it might be something I would want to check out, and I definitely know it's something that I have to do.
Absolutely. It's something I've been waiting on for a while. It was The Last of Us 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm so behind. Well, I'll probably need to get to some of that now. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for us. Such a great episode. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Make sure you visit shopthechallenge.com for all of your customized challenge gear. Make sure you visit me on Twitter and all my other platforms at Malik_MTV. Make sure you go ahead and follow Ace at
Ace Metaphor, MEDA, the number 4 on Instagram. And of course, you can always check me out at 1245music.com.
All right, that's going to do it for us. You guys have a good night. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Ace Metaphor. This is 224 The Basement. Peace.
Peace.